as a 3-time All-Pro, 6-time Pro Bowler, working his way up those charts. Davante Adams, how good is it to be you this week?
It's a lot better than other weeks, that's for sure.
Oh, I think if we've learned what, we're celebrating it when it happens, baby. You get the win, the Jets get the win, and I just need you to walk me through this because at some point, 20 years from now, when I still look like this and you're a Hall of Famer, we're going to look back and somebody's going to put this in like the doc, in the Hall of Fame thing of your 100th touchdown. Davante Adams, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, we pump faked on the play before this. We had a play that we felt really good about, and they actually did a good job defending it. So I thought I scored on that one, but then we got to come back the very next play and get the record in real Tay and A-Rod fashion. You know, just throwing a simple one-on-one fade and great ball placement, and got to pull it in, got my feet down, and there goes 100.
Did Aaron say, "I'm coming right back to you"?
He didn't say that, but just based off the call we had, I knew immediately that the ball was coming. And with where I was on the field, I had a pretty good feeling.
You two don't even have to talk. It's what we love about you. Where's the ball? Where is the ball right now?
That ball is getting taken care of. It's at the facility right now. So I gave it to them to wrap it up, make sure they keep it nice and good for me, and then I'm gonna get it back from them when it's time to go back home after the year.
You got the 100. You could have been like, cool. And then it's, no, let's go. 101. Yeah. 101 happens.
Yeah. We had to get that one because we missed on a big one earlier in the game.
I know, it could have been 3.
Yeah, it could have been 4, depending on how that last catch of the game went. Yeah, that one was kind of weird, but at the end of the day, it was good to finally get it done. No matter how it had to happen, we got it done.
101 past Steve Largent, Don Hudson, and Tim Brown. You're working your way up. You're now in the top 10 all of time. Welcome. Congratulations. Yeah. What is this like?
It's crazy. It's even crazier sitting here looking at the list like this. I'm trying to stay up there with Mike, but I feel like every time he plays, he gets 2 touchdowns a game. So, but the rest of those guys, nobody else is playing. So if I can keep climbing, then we'll see where we end up. But yeah, it's a blessing though. I mean, everybody on this list is a Hall of Famer, so it's great company.
So this is what I'm watching the rest of the way, is you versus Mike Evans, who was like, okay, I'm going to have 2 touchdowns. So he's still 2 ahead of you. I feel like you can catch him.
We'll see. I mean, it's tough to keep up with Mike, man. He's one of the greats, and he is one of the most consistent football players ever. So he's not gonna make it easy on me. I know that, but yeah, I'm definitely coming for him.
What do you think it's like to get bumped off the list? Like Tim Brown's there, a legend. He's watching TV, he might be watching the game. All of a sudden, he's in, then he's out.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. I mean, Tim is my guy. I'm sure records are set in there. They're meant to be broken. So I'm sure he figured at some point it would happen. I was blessed enough in 22 to break his record for the single season, Raiders receiving record. So that was a big deal to me, and he's somebody that has showed nothing but love and a bunch of support to me since I've been in the league.
So this isn't something you guys text about. He doesn't hit you up. There's nothing like that.
No, we didn't talk about this one. We talked about when I got the record. I think he texted me actually before I got it, expecting me to get it that game. So when I got the single season record, he had hit me up. But this time I haven't heard from him. He may be mad at me for getting 2 of them. I don't know. We'll see.
I hope. I kind of wish you and Mike were bigger jerks because you're like such lovely humans and like on the field, off the field. I wish there was a little more like, oh God, I want it.
Why would you?
Because it'd be kind of fun. Because it just, I mean, you're 2 ultra competitive people, but I just wish there was a little like, a little talk ahead of this of what could be historic.
To be honest with you, if there's one receiver from my class that I feel like it's not even possible for me to talk down on or negative or hate on him at all, it's Mike Evans. I mean, he showed me nothing but love. I've seen his mic'd up from like the 2020 NFC Championship game when they came down and beat us in Green Bay. I saw him mic'd up on the sideline, like talking about one of my releases, when I scored and stuff. So just when guys show love like that, that's the way it's supposed to be. So I try to reciprocate that.
Let's get back to this game. You've had such meaningful wins in your life, big playoff wins, big whatever. It's a game against the Jags, but you haven't won since week 9. It has not been going your way. You are so honest about how that makes you feel. How big was this regular season measly game against the Jets or against the Jags? How important?
It was, I mean, we knew. I mean, we talked about it. Aaron spoke to us, the offense, before we started. You know, we were in warm-ups. He said, look, man, we 3-10, and this freaking sucks. And, you know, it is what it is. We can either go out, you know, like weenies, or we can, you know, or we can pull it together and figure it out and find a way to make something of the remainder of this year. And, I mean, every time we look around the huddle and we see who we have in there, it's kind of it's heartbreaking that this is the position that we're in. But, I mean, it's still football to be played. So, you know, we playing for our pride. There's no tanking or no, you know, let's try to get a draft pick or any of that mindset. I'd never be that type of player. So, you know, if I was ever put in that type of situation, there's no way I could be a part of an organization that thinks that way. So for us, it's about getting out there and doing whatever we got to do. It's a little too late for the playoffs, but, you know, we still got a lot to prove to ourselves, and a lot of fun to still be had throughout the rest of this year. So I'm trying to do that. Oh,
I love hearing Davante Adams talking about fun. There's nothing better. I'm sure it's a little complicated to celebrate a win with the record and what it is, but I hope you celebrate. If we learn anything from, listen, eventually if you're Tim Brown and you're getting kicked off that list, you got to celebrate things as they happen in real time. I bet your family was so happy for you. What was it like celebrating this win?
Well, I was pretty beat up after the game, feeling sore, so I didn't hit the town, but celebrated with my fam. We got home kind of late, so got to kick it with the girls a little bit, and then just relax with the fam and celebrated more of like enjoying the moment more than, you know, getting out and drinking and doing a bunch of that. The off season will be here soon enough. We'll be able to do any of that type of stuff. So we're good now. What happened at half?
Let's just, for anybody out there that maybe you didn't have a catch in the first half. You had 9 for 198 in the second half. What the heck happened at half?
I don't know. I guess I had to get my head out of my ass first, and that helps when you do that. And then, you know, I had a drop earlier in the first half, right before the half, and I got my hair pulled on the route. So when I pulled my head back, I couldn't really find the ball, and then, you know, I think that was my second target or whatever. Ooh. And then once we got back in there and got a few grabs, stuff like this just starts to happen. So just need a few plays to kind of unlock it and get in that flow.
What's it like in there the week after, or like the days after a win? What is the energy? What does a win do for a Jets locker room right now?
I mean, we haven't had many of them, but a game like that, hard-fought game, which is basically just like 80% of the games that I've been a part of since I've been here, you know, real tough games that come down to the end. Those are the ones where you really find out what you're about, especially in moments like, you know, neither team has much to play for, you know, for lack of better word. So it means a lot. You can see the energy of the team. You know, guys are actually talking to each other on the plane on the way back. It's a much more energetic and happy vibe, which is obviously why we play this. It's why I play it, because I love the game. So winning helps you be happy in this game, and you know, especially when you able to have a big game, you know, you can feel even better about it.
I mean, I think it was maybe the most dominant half of football I've ever seen from a wide receiver.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it was quite the contribution. I wish we could have done just anything in the first half, and then it would have been a really big game. But
well, I don't know. The weenies talked and have you running through a wall in the first half. Did he actually say weenies? Is that a direct quote?
No.
Okay.
I had to paraphrase a little bit. I'm not pulling out any quotes, but that was from me.
198, the most anyone's had in a second half since the year 2000. Let me throw some more numbers at you. Your 71-yard touchdown, as you know, in the second half, the longest of your career. Do you remember your longest touchdown before that?
Yeah, I think it was a 66-yarder against Seattle in 2016.
Let's see it. Week 14, you caught this from Aaron to start the scoring. You finished with a $104. What do you remember?
Yeah, I remember that. That was the third play of the game. We had a third down, and it actually wasn't even a double move. It was just a quick out, and then Aaron had his calf situation that year, so I think he got the rolling out a little bit. Saw me throw the hand up and threw a perfect ball. And, be able to get in there. It was good to get a long one. It's been a while since I had a long one. I think I had a 60-yarder with the Raiders, but other than that, it's been a while.
You got to keep these touchdowns going. I'm rooting for you the rest of this season. Of course, there's a lot of future to talk about, but I'm looking at you as a Packer in that against the Seahawks. That's the game we had last week. They beat the Seahawks. They're on a bit of a roll. They've scored 30-plus their last 4 games. You got Jacobs, you got Jordan Love. They're rolling. How do you feel about the Pack? There's this idea that they can make a run like they did last year. How do you feel about it?
I mean, they Super Bowl contenders for sure. I mean, the way they're playing, the way Jordan's played, and the way he's battled through adversity when he hasn't played great this year. You look at even, some of the guys like Reed, who maybe been a little bit more quiet lately, and to be able to still win games without having guys playing their very best. I mean, that takes a good team. So, once they get everything rolling, it's going to be tough for anybody to be able to mess with them heading into the playoffs. So it's exciting to watch.
Jordan Love late season effect. What is that? What happens?
You get in the groove, man. You start to figure it out. Like I said before, he's like the coolest quarterback in the game. So, you can see that whenever he makes a mistake, he just doesn't look too rattled by it. It's kind of like he literally forgot about it. It's time to move on, and that's what you need out of a quarterback. And with that supporting cast, it makes it it's going to make it pretty easy on him.
Over the past few years, the Packers, I say this as somebody who watched my Bears last night to the Vikings, you lose all-timer, Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, but the organization's still Super Bowl contender, still win. What does it say about the Packers?
I mean, it's winning organizations. You learn how to figure it out. I mean, they were good before I got there, and they'll be good long after I'm gone. So says a lot about their ability to bring the right guys in, and obviously the discipline that it takes to win is tough. And not that it's been perfect every year, but to be able to be a really solid team over the course of a decade or more, that's really tough to do. So I got a lot of respect for the front office over there, and obviously all the players that have contributed.
You're so loved there, and you're the perfect person to ask, because I looked this morning. 2 of your best statistical seasons, and that's hard to do, 2 of your best are with LaFleur. If I look at the numbers, 18 touchdown year, which everybody knows, of course, back in 2020, that was with LaFleur. What's LaFleur's role in all of this?
LaFleur is the type of guy that he obviously learned from some guys that are really smart and have a system that works really well. And he does a good job of not just trying to make what he has fit a system that he wants to play, but, adapting to who you have. And when you know your personnel and you have a lot of good players that can do different things, obviously it puts defenses and just other teams in general on a bind. So I got a lot of respect for his ability to listen, honestly, because I don't know how much of that is going on there, but obviously having a guy like Aaron and a guy like me, who we have a lot of ideas, a lot of experiences, and preferences, and to be an open coach like that, when you don't have to, you can come right in and put your foot down and say, I'm doing, we're doing things my way. But he didn't, and he listened, and I feel like that made us, much better than what we would have been had he just come in and just did it solely his way.
I'm trying to build the case for him to get votes for Coach of the Year that don't seem to be super popular this year, but with Malik and with the adversity, come on.
Yeah, no, he's definitely one of the ones that's worthy. I mean, there's a lot of good coaches, a lot of guys that have done some special things this year, but I mean, you look at the consistency. I know it's supposed to be just off that year, but I mean, it doesn't happen by accident. So
Davante, people are going to say you miss him after all these nice words, and so I already.
We already know.
We already know. Here's what I need to know. I need to know. I walked into, we have like a 6 a.m. meeting, and I walk in and I go, all I want to know is how deep the conversations, how off between you and Aaron, how much drone talk is going on, and what is it like?
Look, we have our conversations. We try to focus and just lock in on the moment, because I find that you can't really do what you need to do if you're not, locked into what you miss out on too many opportunities and too many moments if you're not paying attention to where you're at currently. But we obviously have had there's been some chatters amongst one
Tell me,
another.
what does Aaron think the drones are? What is that, do you know more about drones than you ever wanted to?
Oh, you're talking about the actual
Yes,
drone?
I was like, I literally was like, what are you talking about being in the moment? The drones.
No.
I need to know about
bad.
drone talk between the two of you.
Yeah. No, I don't. Honestly, I think they come in and pick him up and take him back home. I don't know for sure, but that'd be my guess.
Oh, it's so. Does he talk about them a lot? Come on, like a lot.
I haven't talked to Aaron about the drones at all.
Really?
When you just said talking to Aaron, I thought you were talking about like our plans moving forward together or whatever.
No. I just want to
That's
know how
what I
much
thought you were.
this drone stuff is everywhere. I just figured he's in your ear nonstop. I could just picture you being like, dude, enough with the drones, enough with the
No.
conspiracy theories.
I know he's thinking a lot, but I just leave those thoughts. He can deal with that himself.
Wait,
I guess.
Enigma, I think from your. Are you in Enigma?
I may or may not have a little cameo in there. We'll see. What's today? The 17th? Yeah, it is today.
It is today, 17. It all makes sense. In what capacity? Give me a little preview. I love Netflix. You love Netflix. What do we got?
I truly don't know how much I'm in it. I'm not quite sure. It's going to be a lot about Aaron Rodgers. I know it's not going to be the Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams, times Davante Adams documentary, but
if it's about Aaron, you and Aaron go hand. If I see you in the jungle somewhere where there aren't any Taco Bells doing some sort of ceremony, I'm gonna lose my actual mind.
You won't be seeing that. Don't worry about that.
Okay, so I'm watching the Bears game last night, and it's just uninspiring, and they're getting got by the Vikings. And I was looking at it, and like you and part of your legacy which is 14-2 against the Bears as they see here. I think it kind of takes away from your legacy when I'm watching this, because I'm like, the Bears. Like, is it that impressive with what these guys look like year in year out? It doesn't really look that hard, Davante, to beat the Bears as much as you did. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, look, I can't talk about winning these days, so I'm not going to jump on there and say,
Yes, you can.
What I'll say is it's back in the day, being a Packer playing the Bears, we didn't go into that game ever like worrying about like, are we going to win the game? Like, we were thinking about how crazy we were going to go in the game. Like, can I set a record? Can I score twice? Like, it was like that type of feel. Not to be disrespectful, it's just naturally as a Packer, like you hate the Bears, and we have respect for every team we play, but you just don't respect them to the level of, they're a top tier team that could compete with us. So we went into it just ready to steamroll them and hopefully have the best game of the year. And, it's kind of just one of those things. Like, the Packers are a winning organization, and the Bears haven't. They've been kind of on the other side of that for a really long time. So, I got a lot of respect for you for showing the love to them as long as you have. But
I try. I'm pretty realistic about how I feel about them. Caleb, I feel a little sympathy for. I'm empathetic with his situation. He got the mean treatment last night. You're looking at this rookie quarterback, knowing what you know about facing the Bears, about being part of the Bears. What would you sort of say to him? Is there like something, I know you're saying I can't talk about winning. I respect what you're saying. It's super self-aware, but you are a Hall of Famer. You're a winner. So what do you think about Caleb? What would you say to him?
I'll tell him just to keep going. You can never apologize for working your hardest and doing everything you can to contribute. They try to look at me now and be like, oh yeah, of course he has 200 yards when it doesn't matter. Like, all this, like, whatever, bro. At the end of the day, go do your thing. And, it's about starting as hot as possible. And obviously they lost maybe a couple early that could have changed the scope of the season. And we all thought maybe it was going to be a different show in the first few weeks of the year, even with the loss or two here, just because he looks like he's going to be a hell of a talent in this league. So I got a lot of respect for him as a player, and obviously I'm wishing nothing but the best for his development in the league as he moves forward.
I have such a crazy question for you. Would you ever play for the Bears?
No.
My whole control room just erupted in laughter. No,
Never.
Just a hard no. You would never play for the Bears. Why?
Look, I'm not playing too much longer as it is. So on my last days in this league, after all I've been blessed with, I will not be going to Chicago. I will, like I said, I respect everyone I play, but I'm not playing for the Bears. No.
Love that. Before we let you go, Christmas plans, what are the girls into? What is Santa bringing them? What are they into?
Well, they got to continue to eat their dinner, because that's probably, I don't know how many people out there can sympathize with me, but I think the hardest part about being a parent and having toddlers, infants, whatever, is them eating their food. So right now we've been telling them that Santa's not going to be bringing all the stuff you want if you're not going to eat all your dinner, because every night it's a full-blown battle to get them to eat. So right now they're doing a little bit better because we use that as a threat. So if they continue to do a good job with that, Santa's going to bring them everything they want, just like every other year. My family sends 90,000 presents every single year, so we go and make sure we take care of them. But
you sound kind of grinchy there, Davante. Jeez.
I'm just, I am okay. You're right. You're right. And you know what? It's my fault because my birthday is Christmas Eve. So I'm always kind of grouchy around Christmas anyway, just because I feel like I've never gotten the love that everybody else gets at Christmas. So maybe that's what it is.
I want you to get the love in the end zone just a couple more times. Send this season off with a smile like that. Merry Christmas. I didn't realize I was such a sensitive subject. Girls, eat your food. Eat your food at the Adams household.
Please, thank you.
Merry Christmas to you and your beautiful family. It is all looking up. It's all ahead of you. It's what we've known all along.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Kate.
Congrats on 100, 101, 102, 103, and the drones coming to get Aaron Rodgers. We've got